What's good? It's Dev.
Yo.
We back. Another one. We out here. If we, at this point right now, I done dropped some clips on Instagram. I done put the stuff on YouTube too. Added another short by this point. But, you know, we back again. And we here as promised to give y'all a sneak peek into some of the MyCareer stuff that I've been doing, at least for this playoffs. Spoiler alert, you know, some of the stuff that we have. PS5 got to stop with this BS, bro. First and foremost, I want to say that. Like, PS5 got to stop with the whole, you know, these errors that don't have, like, specific, like, FAQs for, frequently asked questions for. Like, I swear, like, 2 of my videos, like, just when you screen grab and stuff like that, as you going through your journey, if you're doing anything on PS5 or you're doing anything on PC, but I'm on PS5, so I'm on a console. But, bro, they get these errors every so often where you don't really know what to do. You know what I'm saying? And you go online, you try to look for something, just probably like some type of guidance, and the guidance that you get is from Reddit. And Reddit is like, yo, it's a shame they ain't solved this yet, whatever. But I say all that to say, we here now, we back. If you're not following me already, follow on Instagram, boundless_convos, that's BOUNDLESS_CONVOS. Follow on YouTube too, subscribe, you know, turn on your notification post so you can get all the clips and all the videos that we put up, any type of content that we drop on YouTube, it'll get a notification to your phone, man. And that's Boundless Conversations. So that's Boundless Convos, but it's really Boundless Conversations spelled out. So, you know, follow there. Right now, you know, it's a compilation of probably like everything I put together, you know, for these clips, when it came to, you know, just the MyCareer. So we start here, you know, at a point where we in the midst of like getting to the playoffs, man. And, you know, we getting an inspiring speech because, you know, once again, we're not supposed to be here. So I look at that like, you know, we won out at the end. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show you like everything as far as like what we did to get into the play-in and into the playoffs. We was in the play-in against the Golden State Warriors. And then, you know, we came out of that victorious. We was in the play-in against the Denver Nuggets. We came out of that victorious. So now we in a situation where we got to face the #1 seed. Right now, I feel like we do want it more than anyone right now because we feel like, damn, like we supposed to be a #1 seed. We're supposed to be, you know, like somebody that's at least like top 3. You know, we felt like we was better than Minnesota all year. So we gotta lock in. You already know what time it is. So getting into the first game, man, we got our playoff jitters, but at the same time, we looking at it like, yo, like this ain't nothing new from what we already been doing. You know, so, you know, what we already been doing is when we've been playing our key games, we've been putting belt to ass for the most part. We got our struggles earlier with Giannis in the regular season, with Ant in the regular season too. But I would say we didn't get the best of Minnesota, but we beat Minnesota some of them games, man. So over this series, man, it's really like crazy how back and forth this series kind of went, man. We come out in this game, man, just trying to like establish dominance, trying to say, yo, we here. We a number 8 seed, but we not a true number 8 seed. We really a number 1 or number 2. We get the foul there. Earlier on for this, I would say for this playoffs series, and even the playoffs, like playoffs, we've been trying to like take over. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as when it came to just you know, Golden State, because we felt like nobody matched up against us well. Nobody matched up against us well in Denver either. You know, we was like, oh, we can take advantage of this. You know, because there's nobody at the 2 that's really checking us for real. So at this point now, I'm in like year 4, I believe. No, actually year 3. So I'm in year 3. It's my first year with LA. You can see we, you know, not be too jittery on defense for real, but, you know, we get to where we got to go. Game starts off, we try to get a tempo, but we try to get our buckets early, and we try to say, all right, we here early. So I get the and one there. So, you know, already I'm trying to attack the rim. game one kind of sort of goes like this in general. I feel like we get a little back and forth going, you know, where Ant Edwards come down and he just say, all right, bet, I'm about to take over. You know, they run a little action, give it away, then they give it to Gobert. Then they're giving it back out to, you know, Dillingham and over here to Ant, I believe. But we try to cut that off. So a lot of that, but they eventually find a way to get a shot off. They get a shot off and boom. The last thing we want doing is Jaden McDaniels to score some threes. So we get the ball down to AD. AD doesn't capitalize. So throughout this game, I feel like, you know, we going through a situation where we want to get buckets, but we want to get our team involved too. We took our couple of buckets early. Now we like, all right, bet. Like, you know, we didn't get everything we wanted. We got to the line, and we did get an and one that they didn't call. But we trying to get defense, and we trying to get some defense played, and we trying to get some stops so we can get our team feeling good, and then we can get our team involved. AD with a big block there, you know, and hopefully we can capitalize on a break. And we actually do not capitalize on a break here. So we look at that and we look at, all right, well, when do we pick our poison? When do we actually say, all right, I'm about to come out here and just take over? We taking what the defense gives. As you can see, our team really wasn't doing a lot to help us out, man. We come down here hoping we can get a little, and we get it. So we get a little hezzy going for the cross, and then we pull up for the three right there, which I think really might be a two. But we pull up for the three right there. And then literally, you know, they come right back and they say, all right, we getting right to the line. So it's like, it's attack. It's back and forth at this point. With it being back and forth at this point, I really feel like, you know, it was hard for us to really like separate ourselves. We got sloppy in this game a bit. You know, throughout the first quarter, we kind of stayed with them. You know, every time they threw a blow, we threw one back, for lack of better terms. But I feel like also like, yeah, like getting me the ball late, you know, like I got to get the shots like that, you know, often and early. Like I got to do something I feel like with this playbook, because I did grab a lot of plays that I feel like could benefit me and get the and one on the other end. So it's like, bro, we can't separate ourselves. And the plays that we actually got for our guys, you know, did some research, looked at a lot of the guards, you know, they play calls and stuff like that to see what I could do to really help, you know, my situation for how I fit on this team. Because really I was playing a backseat early, you know, and we get that shot in the corner from AD. But, you know, really early, I was trying to like, you know, just fit in the best I could, right? And we can't get around that screen fast enough. And Ant gets the 3-pointer, man. We try to get something over here going, man. But with the plays that we got, man, it's kind of like difficult a little bit. We still get one off though. With the plays that we got, it's kind of difficult. And I feel like, you know, I want to revamp that. I want to do more when it comes to looking at, and we get the turnover there. When it comes to looking at, and we get the oop. Bron going crazy out here. You know, we want to get plays that actually fit us, and we got like probably about like 4 plays, I would say, 4 go-to plays, but the Lakers don't always call it. And we should have just followed through with the animation, but you know, we don't follow through, and we in turn give up a bucket on the other end. So, you know, getting to the second quarter here, it's still back and forth, but the Timberwolves are starting to like do their thing for real, you know. We trying to fight them off the best we can, but it's like it's almost like it doesn't even really work, you know. I like the highlights where we get in the dunks and we get into the rim, but shit like this, bro, like turnover, you know, they come back down, they do their thing, get the foul and the one. Like at this point is where they just start, all right, we gonna try to separate ourselves because they're clearly not coming here to play. And they in Minnesota, so it's like in Minnesota, you got like, you know, the crowd's really not effective right now, but like as it starts getting down the stretch, you know, in these other games, it's going to be really effective, you know, and helping us just be derailed from what our purpose is, coming in here to steal one. We only want one, but it's hard to just steal one, you know what I'm saying? Like, but we coming down and we being consistent regardless. We got 17-4-2, you know, so game 2 was like, all right, like we can get off, but like, all right, does our team get off? Does our team make the shots? Earlier on, you seen where Bron missing wide open threes. You seen earlier on where I'm trying to let my team get involved. You know, Jeremy Grant come in the game, he get us a bucket or 2. You know what I'm saying? We come down, we try to force a turnover, but Actually, they try to force a turnover on us, and they get the turnover. We get the block back, and we thinking like, all right, we can come down. We could do something, make something happen, but I'm getting caught. The computer's just getting me caught right there where I can't do anything. You know, luckily, Jeremy Grant puts back his own miss, you know, which is, you know, hard down there with Mitchell Robinson and Jovic. That's Nikola Jovic from the Jovic, I think his name is, from the Miami Heat. And I'm butchering his name right now, bro. I used to know how to say it, but I haven't had to say it in a while. Like, you know what I'm saying? Last time we seen him was the Mavs rebuild, you know. So, you know, they come down and we get another bucket. But still, look at this. We try to get a foul, but it put us in an animation where I was literally just trying to like go baseline and maybe do like a little like up and under, but a Euro up and under. We end up getting the free throws there, man. But it's a situation where we don't want to get caught up in the animation. It's hard to go baseline and go, you know, up and under for all that. We come through, and once again, like, he's proven like, yo, like, I'm the best player in this series. Fuck LeBron, fuck all that other shit, like AD, everybody else, forget it. I'm the best player in the series. But we feel like we the best player in the series. You know, Ant is still like a great player. Obviously, we making tough shots, but them tough shots take a toll, man, when we trying to like do what we trying to do as far as just building some type of like momentum, man. We got to get some easy shots. You know, we got to get the easy shots because that's what's going to close the gap. But, you know, we get out and break. And we out here just really getting cardio, but we getting some buckets, man. You know, we missed the layup there. We get the ball back, try to make something happen here. But at the same time, once again, the play continuity. What plays are we calling? We going back to them? So I'm gonna take it on my own. Like, we not going to the point guard to set anything up. Have it for me to set up. And I get the foul there. You know, looking at how everything just unfolds here in the first half, it's just a situation where I look at a lot of this, man, and I just say, you know, we can be better, we can be more fluid. We also can stop bailing them out, because bailing them out with these fouls and stuff like that, you know, we don't always get lucky to get a miss like that and then get the rebound and come back. But in the other games, you'll see like where we actually don't capitalize and they come back down and they get a bucket or two. You know, game one, I feel like we try to set the tone, but once again, Ant at the rim, like going crazy. You know, I try to come down and say, all right, like, what am I going to do? You know, try to answer the call a little bit. You know, we couldn't get something right there. I felt like that was a pretty good shot, even though I'm fading out. Looking at how everything is unfolding, man, I feel like it's not looking good for us game one. As you can see around the league, man, everybody is what they is. We facing whoever wins out of that Spurs and Sacramento series. So, you know, I feel like we gotta be prepared, man, for Trae Young and for Wembanyama. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, we go from one elite rim protector to another elite rim protector, but then he's gonna be scoring. How are we gonna get ready in this series to come back to actually, you know, I would want to say like make some type of effort, you know, to you know, improve our skill set and learn from this series, you know, so that we can be effective next one. We get the and one, which I didn't pick up on, but we come back down again. Another alley-oop though. Got one earlier in the game, I believe. So AD, we trying to get our people involved, man. That was a crazy one underneath the basket though, but at the same time, we here, man. We trying to say, all right, look, we gonna come back. We gonna make this shit work. But, you know, it don't always work out that way. You know, Minnesota just became a bit too much, we feel like. You know, I try to do my thing, but it's hard staying in front of Ant, man. It's hard. It's hard staying in front of my man. I'm not going to lie to you. He go left, right. It's unpredictable, but I think he got like a lightning, the lightning launch shit. You know, like I think that badge. So with his lightning launch and everything like that, like shit like this, bro. Like, come on, like back doors. It's not even a back door. It's really just a screen, and then he rolled. Like he was about to come up, and then he faked the screen and then rolled. Like he just rolled right to the basket, and they saw him. We can't be mad at, like, you know what I'm saying, him for doing his job. AD pops out and hit the three. But the Timberwolves, man, no matter what answer we thought we had, they come back and say, no, We got another answer. So it's like, even with getting that ball through there, like how does that happen? That's the whole thing I'm concerned about. Like, how does that happen? You know, when we looking at passes to get through, we can't get no pass like that, but the computer could always get a pass like that. And we try to get open for the 3 and we get one. So we come back down, boom. John Madden, boom. Like we not playing. But can we come down and capitalize though? You know, AD with the block, we want to make him proud by getting us a bucket on the other end. You know, I asked for the ball back again. I'm dancing a little bit. I'm trying to call for the pick. I call for the pick. I get to the rim. I'm throwing at the LeBron right away. Like, I'm not waiting, right away. You know, we get into it. AD with another bucket, man. But, is it enough? You know, we staying with him, but is it enough? You know, like, I feel like, you know, it's a situation where we are trying desperately to stay in this game. And this is a pivotal point for us right here. We're down 2. We get the dunk. We tie the game up 60-60. We tie this game up 60-60. And, you know, end of the third quarter, we like, all right, we can really change the momentum right now. We can take over. You know, I come down doing my thing. I get a dunk. I'm thinking, bro, it's up. It's over. Like, it's no way. Now I'm about to take over the game. And I'm thinking like, okay, game 1, you know, we can get this steal, but we also can win this series. We probably could sweep these motherfuckers. For real. If we doing this, we could probably sweep them. That's what I'm thinking. But Timberwolves got something else in store, man, and we start falling apart. I get my takeover. I'm thinking everything is all good, all Gucci. I'm like, all right, excellent from the line. Bet. Let's see what they come back down with. You know, can we get a stop now that we got takeover, and can we get a 3? That's what I want. I want a stop and I want a 3. But it don't work out that way. You know, Herder go through there, back out. Jovic, he hit the 3. That was well covered a little bit, I feel like, but, you know, they're going to give them that 3. We come back down and we say, all right, bet, end of the third. Can we get this 3-pointer right here? I'm trying to get the screen, and I'm trying to actually go for the 3, but it makes me go for the 2. You know, it led me around the screen, and then when I, you know, did my gather, it went across the 3-point line. So right now, 78-66. You know, the game started to get away from us, man. You know, like I feel like, you know, the first 3 minutes and stuff like that, they went on a run. And we couldn't come back. We couldn't answer back. So once they went on that run, while we was on the bench for the 4th quarter, which is crazy, they take me over. They take me out of the game, and I got takeover in the end of the third quarter, beginning of the 4th. You know, they start hitting impossible shots like that. Ant comes back down. We obviously try to force some shit to happen. So we like, all right, look, we're just gonna take over. But 3s is always more than 2s. You know what I'm saying? So it's like pointless, you know. But we doing our due diligence. We try to chip away at the lead, get any bucket we can. I'm trying to go through, split the defense. Of course, I don't finish there. I wish I would have finished there. Missed opportunity now looking back at it, right? I say, all right, look, we still gonna try though. It's 2 minutes and 40-something seconds left. We still down by basically a dub. Like, we down. Another one, gone. We say, all right, bet, another miss. Let's capitalize. I pass out the shot. I should have just went with my gut and should have just took the shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I'm pump faking, looking all crazy all over the place, trying to set a pick. I'm trying to do a lot. He gets the shot, luckily, but it doesn't really matter. You know, like, 2 minutes left on the clock, you know, down by as much as we down by, I really can't see nothing being better for them because time is just going to run out. They get that dunk on, the mean dunk on from Ant. We try to stop that. We can't stop it. I really don't know if we're going to be ready to play game 2 based off of how we started in game 1 and how we finished. I think if we started out rough like this and then we climbed back in the game, we end with some confidence, right? But we can't end with the confidence that the shit is like this and it's like, and we end sloppy. We don't gain confidence that way. So for me, I'm trying to do anything positive at the end of this game to keep everything in perspective and say, all right, it's a long series, you know, we can do what we can do. But at the same time, I'm not oblivious to the fact that like we are not gonna, we may not win this series if we keep playing like this. I didn't finish that one. I mean, that's usually a gimme, but it's a tough move. But, you know, winding down this game, man, I want to say that we started out really good, trading shots back and forth with them. They tried to pull away on us. We stayed close, though, you know, but then we got a little bit sloppy. And they went on a run after we went on a takeover and we was keeping our team in the game. They went on a run at the end of that third quarter. Or let's say at the beginning of the fourth quarter after we got subbed out at the end of the third quarter, right? He holds the ball. We trying to figure out right now, and we looking at this guy right here. What is in here? What's in here in the locker room? We trying to win this game. So we say, all right, bet. Next game, I'm like, no, like I'm coming out snapping. Turnovers, I'm getting to it. But as much as we want to score on one end, they scoring on the other end. We notice they scoring on the other end. They come through with a curl, but he cut to the basket. Oh my gosh. It's like, how do you, like, all right, they slow walking us and then they get to that and then boom, he right to the basket on him. So we come back and we say, all right, he can't get us. We got to get him back. And one. That should be a foul every time. Every time that should be a foul. But they're not going to call that, though. That's just a little animation, you know. They go over the top and everything like that. They got to get a timeout. They come back in off of this, man. And I want to say this right here, you're just running into my players at this point, right? You know, we send them to the line for easy ones, bro. They get the first one. We send them to the line for easy ones. They get the second one. Like, 2 points that we could have had back. You know, I don't like this. I really don't like this. You know, right now I'm at 4 points. You know, it's 6-6. I don't really like, you know, where we're going with everything. Of course, little violation. Now we turn the ball over. Now down here a little bit into the first, you know, we try to call some plays, I feel like. But once again, these plays ain't for us. We happy if our teammates get the bucket, though. And AD gets the alley-oop from LeBron from the corner. Tough pass, but he get it through there, right? Now we trying to look to see if we can make some shit happen. Behind the back, oh my goodness. Oh my God. My ankles. My ankles. So you see us out here doing our thing. We feeling good. We feeling like, all right, bet, it don't matter. I got 6. It don't matter, though. It don't matter what y'all throw at me. I'm scoring. So we stand close in the game and we like, yo, just how we started last game, let's start this way now. But we know that the matchup is what it is. We know they can't guard me. We know these is, when I get to the bucket and it's not Ant there, even if it's Ant there and we one-on-one, they can't stop me from laying the ball up. You know, they get the ball back out to me. I say, all right, bet. Splash. I'm draining that shit. So it's like me, I look at it like, all right, we here. We can steal this game. This is the game. We can steal this game. I come through on a break and I boot that shit with 2 hands. I'm saying we here and this is game 2, 1-1. We going home tied. We going home tied up. But don't work that way. These things 3 in the corner. We come down, we get a miss. We have a bad play. Right now we got 15 points, but 4 turnovers. 4 of them things. 4. Another 3-pointer. Now is where they start to separate themselves. We down by 11, bro. Down by 11. We go to the rim. We say, momentum. Come back on our side. Come back on our side, momentum. We say, we not playing this game. We ain't got the hyper dunks on for no reason. So we come out. And at the half, we're down. But a glimpse again. They up 1-0. San Antonio's up 1-0 on Sacramento. We get this steal. Feels good, but we got to get back on defense. 21 and 5 turnovers is unacceptable. That's the reason why we got a C+ game teammate grade or game grade. And we get the steal from that. Took too long to get the steal in my opinion, but we get the steal from that. Rim hang again. So now we just trying to build the momentum back. You know, it's kind of hard to build momentum back, but we trying to get there. And we get the foul. Probably should have been an and one, but my timing was completely off. And we go to the line. We go to the line. We hit the first one. You know, we say easy work. We go to the line again. And we hit the second one. All right, so we come back down. Third quarter, man. 61. They have 60. They got 61 right now, but we fighting back. We fighting the back. We fighting back. 61 to 51 now. All right, we gotta stop. We coming down. We looking for who we looking for. We say, all right, the paint's open. We need to get down there. That's a crazy layup. That shit was. That's when you walk back down the court and you just hold whatever hand you know what I'm saying? You know, you just hold it up there like, damn, this shit crazy. But they come back down again. They trying to force things to happen. You know, we're still down big. No matter what it seems like for momentum, after a good basket, bro, we break him down right there. And we get the and one. It seemed like before that, any type of momentum, we don't get, you know what I'm saying, off of a big basket, we feel like, right? But I would say that right here, the and one there, that should have been an and one. We like, all right, we cut it down to 14. So now they go back up. I mean, they're still up right now, but they hit that three. They're starting to separate though. We're thinking that every tough shot we make is momentum. It's momentum for sure, but then they just go on a crazy ass run because they put me on the bench. So they put me on the bench and I'm like, what am I going to do now? They got 100. You know, I set my playoff career high again, you know, but they have 100, 103 now, and we making tough shots and we still can't win. You know what I'm saying? It's shit like this where it's like down the stretch when we get back in the game after we out for a bit, we out of sorts. We letting people through the screens. We can't fight through to get through the other side. We can't do anything on our end to really just string together 3 straight buckets and 3 or 4 straight stops. We get a stop and boom, wide open. They get second chance points, wide open. I don't doubt that's what they was doing while I was on the bench too. They had to. So now I'm in scramble mode and I'm like, all right, either get to the line or I got to get some points. It's 2.5 minutes left, really 3 minutes left, right? But with the 3 minutes that's left, we don't see an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like the opportunity's not there for us to really come back. We look at it like, damn, like how do we do this? We got to get some threes. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not hitting my threes. So I'm down here like I come back in, no rhythm. I get a layup here and there, but I can't hit my shots. You know, I'm trying to go all the way, end up getting sloppy, turn over the rock. Right now it's the point where I'm just fed up. I'm upset. I'm just trying to get back to the ball. They get another bucket. We come back down here. Game is over at this point. It's been over for about 1.5 minutes since we came back, but we had hope. We were foolish. We had hope. You know, I still can't get the and one. I still can't get that bucket either. You know, it's looking very sloppy out here, but then also I'm looking very bad. I don't get that 3. Missed opportunity there. It's just missed opportunity after missed opportunity. And they're like, bro, cool off, bro. You cold. You cold, bro. You know, I'm just really aggressively trying to do something. I get a 3 there, but what's the Chris Paul mean, bro? He cuts it down to 37 with that 3. Not 37. More like almost like 27, but you know, we're out here. We don't steal this game. So not stealing this game makes me feel bad. They take us out again. We gotta come into game 3 and we gotta come in at home and win the game. You know, I feel like those 2 in Minnesota, we were like, all right, they're the number 1 seed for a reason. They're separating themselves in key moments. We got to separate ourselves, right? Looking at this game and looking back, we tried a different approach. We let our teammates do kind of a lot of stuff earlier on. We fit in where we could fit in at. But this game, man, we end up really just like getting in our bag, you know what I'm saying? Like showing our versatility off as a player, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what's important, you know. As a player, we one of the best in the league, if not one of the best scorers. We didn't average 30 3 years in a row for nothing. 30 and 32 3 years in a row for nothing. You know, we come down, they trying to stay with us, you know what I'm saying? Like they trying to just like battle. They battling it out. You know, we going back and forth. I look at it like, all right, bet. Once again, give my man a chance to make a play. You know, AD is sitting there open and right there in the dunker spot. Boom, right down there to him. And he's going to dunk it. You got to dunk that shit. He's going to dunk it every time. Little Adam Sandler reference from Anger Management. Yo, what's crazy is that movie, right? Little side note, that movie, it's a movie I probably didn't watch really as a kid, but my dad liked to watch it, you know what I'm saying? You know, Jack Nicholson, I'm not like really a fan of him, like, but I mean, I like some of his work. I feel like he's a great actor. But Adam Sandler, man, I wanted to say side note about that movie. The guy that says, you gotta dunk that shit, and he's in anger management and stuff like that. It's almost like an anger management little round circle they're going around and stuff like that. And he's saying how he's not affected by basketball anymore. Ironic, by basketball. You know, those people that's in his movies, they all his friends. I want to say, as we, you know, looking at this game and stuff like that, I want to say, like, you know, whenever you get a chance to, and we get the good block there, whenever you get a chance to, like, put your friends on, man, try to put your friends on somehow, man. Sometimes you can't always work with your friends, but at the same time, I feel like sometimes you can make shit work with your friends. And sometimes it's the selfishness of ourselves, our egos, to be like, I want to do it myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it takes a village. It takes other people. And, you know, whether that's from a consultant standpoint, whatever it is, whether it's like, from a hands-on perspective or hands-on position, you know, being deeply involved with the work, let them, you know what I'm saying, like, help the best they can if they offering to help, you know, because, you know, more people can lift a lot more, you know, instead of like, you know, one person lifting a whole lot, you know. Basically, that weight is evenly distributed amongst people, amongst friends, people that genuinely want to see you win, genuinely want to see you do more. So I just wanted to say that as we get back to the game here. So they get the miss here. We coming down. We like, all right, it's showtime now. So we like, all right, little spin there. Boom. We finishing at the rim though. It's bully ball down there with Kevin Huerter and me. Kevin Huerter see me coming down the lane. It's over. But they come down. They had a wide open three. They miss it though. We're like, all right, bet. It's that home cooking now. It's definitely the home cooking. We putting them on skates. Anytime you see me, and I get fouled, man. Anytime you see me coming down and I'm full head of steam like that, crazy, man. Of course they do some BS where they running into me, man. Not sure what that was about, but I was trying to get over so they don't do that handoff. And if I can get in there and reach, I can get the ball and then probably be out down the other end, right? You know, this game I like what we did. We didn't get too high. We didn't get too low. We got our badges, our GOAT badges kind of early going. Once again, we looking for the teammates. We see somebody, we going this way. We don't see them no more. Then we look them off and then we pass it. That's what get us the bucket every time. You know what I'm saying? So we get through there. They're down still. They can't really get much going. They're trying to make some shit happen, but it's not going to happen. We come down here and I think we're going to get this stop right here. Another three. We get the stop. We back running. I'm telling them launch the ball up there, and we don't get the buzzer beater. I was trying to get that buzzer beater for real when we get that stop. Leaving out of the first quarter, man, we see the crowd going crazy out there. Crowd is like, bro, we know y'all can win it. That must have been like a precursor to what they thought was probably going to happen. And we aren't going to spoil it, but you know, we just hope that we can try to do something, you know what I'm saying, like with them. At home, we can't lose this game. To go down 3-0, like they said, beginning of the game, when I was playing this, it's really like hard to even like get another win after that. You're defeated and you're deflated. But we saying, all right, bet, you know, we up for the challenge. We're not going down 3-0. We really about to snap because we at home. Two layups right there, but then they come back down and they get a layup, right? 5 minutes left. And we say, all right, got that layup. Little pick to get everything going. Right to the rim now. Straight to the Baja. And that's a dunk. That's what we should be finishing, like, you know, in the paint. You know, for 2K26, I think, going to put my dunking a little bit higher. My speed with the ball a little bit higher. And I'm going to put my mid-range and three-point a little bit higher, too. My ball handling does not need to be at 88, but it can be that, right? I think my defense probably can be a little bit more evenly distributed where we don't get beat how we get beat, man, because, you know, stuff like this happens. We don't get a hand in there. That's basically a handoff, and he comes back to Ant, you know. But we get a hand in there. We don't always get that though to happen, and we go around the back, and we finish that tough layup around the back, and then I rock the crate. Nasty, bro, nasty. So, you know, our defense can really get better for next year. And see, shit like that. It's like our hand is up. He get passes and our hand is up, but that don't mean nothing at all. You know, halftime we're looking at how the standings shaping out. You know, right now it's a situation where San Antonio is looking like they're going to come out of that series. Looking like Cleveland actually about to get swept on the other side, and so is Charlotte, man. That's what's crazy though. And it looked like we about to get swept, honestly. But if we can't do something to come back, Atlanta's in the playoff of a former team, but they down in Toronto, so I don't really have a lot of faith in them. It's nobody over there. I think someone did come to that team. It might have been Paolo, but Paolo Banchero came to Atlanta, and I think we ended up leaving. So, you know, situation where we wanted Paolo last year, but we didn't get him before we left Atlanta. So it was what it was. As you can see, we get into the bucket. A lot of dunks, a lot of hanging on the motherfucking rim all day. A lot of and ones they not calling. We come through, man, right here, and we say, all right, we about to put the sauce on everything right now because we've been cooking, we've been barbecuing this shit. It's time to put that other layer of sauce on. We don't actually get that bucket though. We force it. So we forcing it again, but we say, all right, but give it to my man. My man could probably get the foul. So here's what we say, all right, we deviate away from the game plan. Let's go back to what's helping us. And look at Halliburton in the corner, 35 points, 8 3-pointers made, I think that's it. Bam, 40 and 14, that's crazy, bro. They end up losing to Indiana. That was a crazy game. Rozier with 9 assists, I'd never see it. But our guy gets a couple of the free throws, man. We trusting in our people, man. You know, we trying to hold them off. We don't want them to get confidence here because if they get confidence here in LA, it's over. You know, even in how we win this game, we want to not give them confidence. You know, we want to make them seem like, all right, that was just because y'all was in Minnesota. That's not going to happen here. So they say, all right, bet you're going to have to show us, you know. So they get that 3. I'm driving, I'm kicking, I'm kicking. I get back out. Dalton is all right. Now he's like, okay, I'm gonna just do it myself. You know, they know shit, right? But you can't win with yourself. LBJ said, let me have a piece. Let me have some. Let me get some. Let the drummer get some. You know what I'm saying? Give my drummer some. So I come through. I say, all right, bet. Y'all going crazy? Y'all going crazy? Is y'all going crazy or no? Like, can I come in here too and just can I come here too and just do my thing real quick? Can I do my 1-2 and keep it moving? So we get the and 1 right there. Now it's like, yo, they probably looking like, damn, 3, another 3. They come down and 1. That's a 3-point play. They say, all right, no. And say, no. We coming right back. No. Nizza. So, and actually dancing back there. He going crazy. So he try to pull up again. Gets it. Boom. He's like, all right, this is just like last game. He beating his chest. He's like, this is just like last game. We come through though. We try to get the stop. Look, that was a steal right there, but they'll never give me that. 2K be doing some bullshit, man. They never do that. And he finishes right over me. You know, he gets, that's basically an and 1 too. I was hanging around. But I come through and I say, yo, we willing ourselves to this victory, bro. I'm not letting us lose. And Bron to AD, that connection is unmatched. You know what I'm saying? Bron is on his last legs. I think he might be in year 25 this year because I think, 3 years later from that. Yeah, I think he's in year 25 because right now he's in year 22. So we get that stop. Nice little block on the other end. We get the oop though. Boom, one-handed, left hand type shit up here. He put, yeah. Look at where Bronny threw that at. Oof. So we get that. Now it's like, all right, we looking at it like their confidence is gone. You know, they can't do nothing. I come through. I say, you know, I'm going to block a shot. I'm going to play defense. I'm a force the issue here. no sense of really like looking at that game really like that anymore, because we come back and we win. You know, we run away with that. So game 4, we back, LA. We get the block. Starting off already just on the same note as last game. This is what I mean by we got to end by taking their confidence and then coming back. We missed the open 3 though. So it's like we making the right stops defensively, but we missing some shit. Come down. Bron says, okay, I'm going to do this shit. Bronny, I'm going to show you how to do this, son. I'm going to show you how to do this, son. All right, another defensive stop. So right off the bat, you already can see we got our GOAT badge active because we got 4 stops in a row where we just challenged everything. We right in their face about it. You know what I'm saying? Like we unapologetic, you know what I'm saying? So we can activate that whenever we want to. You know, we come through. Another one. Should have been an and one, but another one. I come through again. I say, all right, you know, this is a game where I feel like he can get what he wants, right? But his team is not going to win. We stopping everybody else at the rim. We got to stop on him too. We got to stop on everybody else damn near at the rim. You know what I'm saying? They staying with us, but the object is we end up having to have an answer for everything that they do. You know, answer for everything that they do. This is 2-1. We coming into this with blinders on, but we coming in this with like a fresh mindset off of the first 2 games don't exist. Game 1 and how we played that shit, we gotta play it like that. You know, and it calls for a bullshit little play like that, man. And you know, I thought that was Kyle Anderson, man, but Baldwin, he get the and one, man. He get the 3-point play. You know, shit like this is like where I feel like the computer cheats and they try to keep them in the game. Sometimes, like when you actually go in for a foul, or you go in to reach, I would say you're not necessarily maybe wanting a foul, but you go in and reach, and when you reach, they may be going right into an animation. And when they go into that animation, they'll just finish anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like it's easier for them to finish. It's crazy. But I noticed it too on the offensive end. We get the steal down there. We already out of here. You know the memo. We dunking that shit. You gotta dunk that shit. We dunking that shit. So we back here again. And he get an open 3, but he don't drain it. He never get his feet set. All right, bet. Now y'all frazzled. We going to the Baja though, finishing right over top of any of y'all. It don't matter. We get the ball again. We try and go crazy on it. We try and do the worst. Perfect release, but we get that shit chopped out the fucking air. Chopped out the air. We don't get the 3. Now, coming back down, we say, all right, that was sloppy. You know what I'm saying? Like we got the block and force fed it back in. We didn't get it to go. Now we got to see if we can get this stop back and we can get an actual bucket, you know, out of this. Can we get the bucket? You know, is that realistic? I don't know. That backdoor screen right there as I'm watching it back now is crazy. I like that play, but I don't like them calling it all the time. So, you know, we go into the half, man. We go into the half and it's really not great, but you know, I see like we still trying to just like, you know, feed off of that momentum from last game, man. Yeah, it definitely looked like San Antonio winning that series. Cleveland gets 1 win. Atlanta actually ties it up there. That's the crazy part. Atlanta, I don't think is going to win that series, though. Toronto's a way better team. They was a really balanced team when I was playing against them a couple years back in my career. So I would say that they're rightfully so a second seed. But we take back over, you know what I'm saying, like in this game, and you know, we coming around the curl and we just popping shit. Like it's like, you know, I really feel like now, you know, we now locking back in after that break. We locking back in after seeing everything we did see. And I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna let the defense give me what it's giving me, and I'm gonna take that shit too also. So it's like, I saw them say, all right, bet, you know, we gonna leave them open. I come through 3, another layup. So now we running away with this shit. Now they like, all right, you know, we can stay close with them. He always got an answer though, but we can stay close with them. But now I feel like we about to get on our run. We trade baskets back and forth, but you can clearly see what our momentum is. He beat us on that bad one, but you can see what our momentum is. You know, we pump faking, we jab step, we going baseline. He can't stop us. He letting us go through. So for me, that's building confidence. You know what I'm saying? That's building the confidence. Let's see what they do. I think they come back down and they trade a basket here. You know, because I feel like this game went back and forth for a stretch of probably like the first few minutes of the third quarter, right? You know, we got our little like two or 3 point lead, but then they came back and they said, all right, bet, we going back down again. We get the turnover and Bron for the reverse. Now that puts an end to all that other bullshit we talking about now, right? Now we looking at it like, all right, momentum again. Can we come down? We leave them open a little bit. Bait them into taking that three. We get the board. Bron got takeover now. I'm running to the corner. I'm saying, can I pull this shit? I pull that shit and it's going down the drain. It's there. It don't even matter. It's there. So then they coming back down. They say, all right, yo, we need a bucket. Who we gonna go to? Now he could have got that cutter across the middle. He was a little bit late. Now with him being a little bit late, they didn't get the layup, but they got the putback. Now we going further down. Next play, I come back down. I try to make some shit happen. Doesn't happen. Now we come down and we say, all right, we need to get the steal. I'm missing my man over there at 34, but they're gonna take advantage of that because I was so late in getting over. They swing it back over and boom. 3-pointer right there by Dillingham. You know, we all misconstrued as a defense. They, you know, a little give and go, and they give it right back to him. I cut back door, though. I told y'all. That backdoor screen is crazy. But it's not my favorite play because when you got a big down there that can block shit, it's hard to get that bucket off. It's hard to get that one off, too. But told you another one, we just got to walk down the court just looking at this and be like, damn, that shit crazy. So now we're looking at this like, yo, they can't play with us. They can't run with us. Now Bron get the block and he running on the break. He looking like he like 29 out this joint. Not 25, but he looking like he's 29 out this joint. You know what I'm saying? So we go ahead. We stop him again. It's winding down on the third. We trying to get whatever buckets we can get before the third is over. We get another one. Now we send a lead up 72-65. We locking in. What'd he say? I'm strapped in. Shout out to Battle Rap, man. And he does not get that, but I thought it was like, it was good, man. It was good. It looked like it was good when it left his hands. And, you know, in the third quarter, we doing our thing. We hit some really big 3-pointers to really carry us through, to really just kind of solidify us as we should win this game, as victors we feel like in this game. Even though it's not a big lead, we still, you know what I'm saying, like, we still solidifying ourselves. So we jump out, 10-point lead now. We capitalize off of that momentum going into the fourth. They put me on the bench for a little bit. I come back down. Now it's like, all right, you know, everybody's just going to attack me. So let's just draw the defense in and just get out the easy dime. You know, AD does what he's supposed to do and gets that 3. So before you know it, lead goes from 10 to 12. It was 10-13 and 10-12. 75-87, but at the same time, we looking at things like it's really feeling like 87 to like 65 for real to me. Like, we on a run, it's 4.5 minutes left, and they can't do nothing really. They get back to the line. They miss some opportunities. You know, we call for the ball. We say y'all miss opportunities don't mean shit to us because we looking at it like, don't matter what y'all do, we answer it every time on the other end. So I come through, should have been an and one again, but we get the and one that time, right? Now I lose the ball. We start getting sloppy. We get a little bit aggressive. You know, I feel like that should have been a block, but neither here or there. I also feel like Brown should have got that block, but they get that basket. How do we come back down and answer back? We get back into our set, but no, I break the play. I say, no, I'm just going to show them that I'm better than these niggas. I'm going to show I'm better than him. You know what I'm saying? We go back and we go right at him for the layup and the and one. Should have been an and one. But 14 seconds left in this draw, man. We dribbling it out. We come through again. It doesn't, and we just dancing. But it don't feel like, you know what I'm saying, that we could only win this game by 7. But, bro, we end up taking that game, bro. start to finish, dominant. You know, and now we going back, right? We going back Minnesota. It's 2-2 now. Now this shit don't even matter for real, because now we feel like, yo, y'all done let us back into the series. Look at that. Another pass that should have been picked off, right? Or it should have been not picked off, should have been intercepted, right? And he gets that layup. Little stuff like that was bothering this game, but we had the momentum and we wasn't stopping from the get-go, for real, man. Team was doing their thing and we was doing our thing, man. We come out here, Dillingham think he about to get an easy one right here. He gives it back out to Ant. Ant actually makes that look easier than what it was. We come back down and we say, nah, but we remember last game. And when us remembering last game, we know our guys, they just got to get to their spots, right? So it's like giving AD a chance to just get to his spot. He get to his spot, turn around, left shoulder, smack. That shit good. Now I say, I'm bouncing, but left to right. I'm left, right. And we go for the and one with the right hand. Now he just palmed that shit out the air. And I just say, all right, we're going to make it look pretty on the other end. Another oop. So I get the oop going to Bron, and it's a wrap now. Now we like, bro, it don't matter where we at. We winning this game. I make the shot left hand, falling away for the and one. I'm out the frame with it. You know what I'm saying? So I look at that and I say, damn, I'm feeling good about this game. You know, like, I feel like it don't matter what they do. They can't stop us. 2-2 right now. We in their building. We making all the tough shots, and we getting stops. They bailed them out with that little nut-ass foul, but it is what it is, man. We looking like, bro, they shouldn't even get these points for real. We should be going back on the other end. And we know ball don't lie. So ball don't lie. We get the ball right back. We get it to Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant gets the bucket, but he gets to the bucket, but he does not get the bucket. You know, should have been a layup going right up or something like that. A little bounce pass down the court is crazy. And I should have finished that dunk right there. But I got caught up. I get him on a pump fake. I try to drive in. And I get my shit killed at the rim. But we get the foul. We go to the line. Since they've been fouling and ball don't lie, we get the first. Ball don't lie. We get the second one. Now going to halftime, man, we see 2-2. We see San Antonio took care of business. We see Detroit took care of business against Charlotte. We see Washington took care of business against Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? Now we're just waiting on everybody from that Rockets and what's the name series? That Rockets and Jazz series and also the Mavericks and the Pelicans series, man. But we facing San Antonio next round. It's gonna be a crazy one if we can win this series right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just right now saying all the right things. We gonna win this series, and that's what we playing, right? Bron doesn't connect at the rim, but we bail him out. We get the steal, and I get the and one. I get the and one. Come back down, man. It's not even. I just come right back down and just get it going. It's not even that crazy because I look at it like, yo, 58 points right now. 41 from Minnesota. I only have 11, but everybody's touching the ball. Everyone feels great. That's what happens after you come off of 2 home wins. The team feels like, as a team, we can beat these motherfuckers, man. We can beat them. I come through dancing, and I'm just like, bro, y'all can't stop me. I'm getting to where I get to, where I want to all the time. Get the and one there. So now they come back down. They feeling like, all right, you know, I know we can stop the bleeding. You know, Dillingham tries to be Superman. In and out though. He probably would have made that shot and a crazy shot. We come up. I catch him off guard. Notice how when I get that ball, I bounce outside a little bit and I go back in with the left hand. And we get the and one layup. It should be, but whatever. I come through again. That backdoor screen is crazy right there. How I get through that. Now, he could have got over. Robinson could have got over, but he was like deer in headlights. He was stuck. So now, we running it up on him. You know, I'm getting out to where I got to get to. I pump fake twice. I get to the rim. I'm playing bully ball. I'm saying and one. Now it don't even matter. We on y'all court and we blowing y'all out. We blowing y'all out on y'all court. We already starting to see us a little bit of light spots in the crowd. So y'all might want to catch the traffic. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even sure why y'all even stayed, you know. But they stayed rooting for us. We end up winning that game, man. Honestly, coming into this game, bro, I'm like, all right, complete the turnaround. We lose 2 and win 4 straight, bro. Who else doing that? Who else doing that? We doing it though. Don't matter. AD on the break, alley-oop. A lot of that shit this game. A lot of those this game. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of that just like, we just dominant and we gonna get to the hole. They try to go to the hole and they can't get to the hole on that one. We end up almost giving up a 3. We get the board there. We coming back down on the break. This is what I mean by a lot of this shit that game. Bron at the rim. No one can stop me. I'm gonna lay the ball up. That should have been a foul, but I'm gonna lay the ball up. And one. They come back down. We trading buckets early, or we trading attacks to the rim early. We standing our ground. They come through with that little weak ass screen, bro. They don't know what they about to do with it. They throwing up a 3. They actually do know what they doing with it because they putting it in the basket. But we going back and forth, so it look like, all right, okay. You seen what we just did last 2 possessions before that though, right? So we gonna come back pump fake. Y'all know y'all gotta stay down. Y'all know y'all gotta stay down. And I'm doing it in the bronze that he did it in when he really was an MVP candidate that year. When they faced, I think when he messed up his ankle against Detroit, when he missed all those games. He was really like looking like prime bronze still, to be honest with you, but you know, athletically and everything like that. But I feel like lower extremity injuries will hinder some of that athleticism, bro. We get that layup there, you know, still a respectable game. You know, like I feel like with this game, I'm looking at everything from a wider perspective because I'm like, all right, what can we clean up this game? Because we got the momentum, I feel like. What can we clean up this game to go into the next game with or the next series with? We can't do plays like that. We got to attack the rim. Like that, I read that perfectly, but I get out here and I don't get that 3-pointer. So too much dribbling and not attacking right away and then coming back out and reading that that they had to had me locked down at the screen going to the rim. So I had to come back out to the 3 and I miss it. If I'm wide open like that, I got to make it because they're going to come back and they're going to shoot some shit and they're going to make some stuff like that, right? And it's going to make the game closer. Then that puts more pressure on our team. The pressure that's on our team to capitalize, we got to come through, which some of our people are coming through because they feeling good. But with us not having that that momentum, we feel like because we haven't seen ourselves play well against San Antonio this year that much. That's another thing that I feel like we got to clean up and we got to just be precise from the start. You know what I'm saying? So I go ahead and I say, all right, alley-oop to Bronny. Told y'all a whole lot of that shit at the rim this game. So Bronny with the left hand oop over 2 niggas is crazy. It's crazy. So we jump too early. They get over there, but they can't get they can't get that pull up mid range. We come back down, though. We take advantage of that. And we doing a spin cycle. We put them in a spin cycle. We looking like a whirlpool right now. Looking like the washing machine. The clothes are going in the wash. It's going in the spin cycle now. So now we say, all right, bet at the rim again. Draymond Green can't jump over a ham sandwich at this point. He can't jump over a ham sandwich at this point. But he doing that shit anyway. We come through, bet. All right. We get to stop. I'm letting it go. Like, it don't matter. None of this shit is phasing me. I got takeover now. I'm at the rim. That should have been a block. Wasn't a block, was a good shot contest. But we coming down. We got some shit in store for y'all. At the rim again. What I tell you, a whole lot of that at the rim shit this game. Whole lot of that at the rim shit, because we like, bro, we dunking all over these niggas. He just threw it over top of his head, it feel like. You know what I'm saying? Or it seemed like. But get the steal. In transition. Rim hang. One hand. Take over, back active again. Right now is where we just say, all right, we putting our foot down, we putting our head down, and we just pushing through this shit. We making the league now. Get the turnover again. Rim hang again. Rim hang again. You see my man out there? Rim hang again. Activate the GOAT badge. We activate the GOAT badge, man. Now, we on some shit. We say, all right, we about to come out here. We about to steal the ball. I want the ball. I can't get the ball. Still animation. Now they try to do us dirty on the backdoor screen. They say, all right. Boom. Right on my head. That's a head joint. So I'm not phased though. I see what you're doing, but I'm not phased. I said get my team involved. He can't do it though. So now we come back and we say, all right, can we get this stop though, man? Can we get a bucket? End on a good note, man. End the second half on a good note. You know, last minute here, Baldwin is trying to make something happen, but they really just want to get it to Ant. Ant drains it again. So now I'm looking like, all right, man, let's settle in. It's phasing me now. Let's settle in. Get the ball over to Bron. Bron over to Grant. Grant back over to me. I get the little fader going. I thought that should have been a 3. I'm rhyming, but I didn't mean to do that. It's accidentally, really, for real. So Toronto ends up beating Atlanta, like I said. Detroit and Toronto. Washington, Miami. Miami beats Indiana. Could that be a precursor for what's to come on the other end too? 2 AFCs beating the 1 seed. Let's see. Right now we drop back into the third. We over here at the third, man. We doing our thing. We get the little 3. Bron is like, bro, I'm gonna bring us home, bro. I need y'all to come on with me. I need y'all to come with me. I need y'all to give me everything y'all got from the arsenal. So now AD comes in and 1. He like, I got you, coach. I got you, Coach Bron. We back on it. We back on our shit now. All right. Now it should be my turn, right? Technically speaking, it should be my turn, right? I come back through. I'm trying to fight over this screen because I know they trying to get Ant right there on that curl. They don't get him. We end up keeping good spacing and stuff like that, and they still get the tough shot. So it's like now we looking at, all right, first couple minutes of the second half, they starting to do some stuff that we normally don't do. You know, they starting to, you know, I think we only did it like 2 games, really, for real, but really like a game and a half, we hitting like really tough shots. The last one in Minnesota, we was hitting like tough fall away shots and stuff like that. We get that one there. We end up trying to stop the bleeding right there because we see them trying to make a run. And then now we just taking over. Now I'm just like, all right, I want it all. Now I'm just like, all right, Bron, you set the tone. AD, you set the tone and you followed up. Now I got to set the tone and I really got to follow up too. Now I get the block. Even though they look like a steal, I get the block. So we getting it over there to Bronny. Bronny giving it back over there to, I think he might be passing this on to AD. Nope, he doesn't pass it to AD. AD actually gets the board and he goes back up, gets the foul. So for me, I feel like ball is moving, but we got people open on the floor at this point. He misses the free throw there. We don't need that. He misses the free throw there, right? Gets the second one. Now, 3 minutes left in the third. What we gonna do? We gonna go back down to Bron, dump it inside. Bron for the turnaround, and he gets it. He get the bounce. He say, all right, yo, settle down. I got y'all. Now I say, all right. I say, quiet. It's quiet for that shit. Another 3. Now I got my takeover enabled again. I'm coming through. I want to actually get this rebound. I get the rebound. So I wish I could come through the lane a little bit quicker to get that rebound, and then we can get out on the break faster. But he can't stay in front of me. You know, I'm just back and forth. I come through. I get the ball out back to Bron. Bron gets the open 3. We trust in our teammates. As you can see, dunk fest. End of the third. This looking like it's over. We up 10 right now. 3 left. We went out and came back. Ant tries to stay in front of us and he can't. The pullback for this shot, chef's kiss. It's over. Now at this point, we like, bro, it's our game to lose. They can't come back from this. We just going to keep on applying pressure, right? Steal again. Now I come through. Rim hang. A bunch of them one-hand rim hangs. I told y'all, a lot of shit at the rim this game. You know, we hitting our shots, but a lot of shit at the rim. 2 minutes left. We dancing on them again. Can we get to the bucket on them? We try to get to the bucket on this one, and we end up getting to the bucket and 1. Takeover active again. I think the takeover counter may be at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It may be 5 takeovers in this one game, bro. It was crazy. They act like, all right, we could try to come back. Brother, look at the clock. 40 seconds left. He did a little celebration. That was just crazy to me. So we end up coming out of this game, man. We complete the comeback. Who cares about that nut-ass turnover? We complete the comeback, bro. You know, I feel like we was focused. We locked in second game for real. But even though that was the game we got beat by the most, I feel like, We locked in second game and we said, bro, we got to actually take over and do some shit. I come through and I'm just dancing because I'm trying to actually get 40. I end up not getting 40. If they didn't come for that weak side help, I would have probably got 40. Looking at everything and how it winds down, you know, we made this guy proud. You know what I'm saying? Like we made our coach proud, but our assistant coach, the guy who worked with us, but locking in right now is the only thing that we thinking about. And this is the photo that's in my head. This is the image that's in my head the whole time, bro. Every time I'm thinking about like this coming back down from 2-0, man. You know what I'm saying? When they talk about the people that's in there, everybody is lucky to be here, but you earned it. Bro, we earned that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? The people that's in there earned it. We get asked about our team knocking off the top seed in the conference, which is the second one in this season, or in this playoff season. Team didn't get to this point worrying about what might go wrong someday. I think that's the one I'm actually going to choose. I don't want to choose. That's the weirdest question I've heard. So it's all about stacking the W's. We got a few more to go, and we can go home satisfied. So we leave it off there, man. You know, now I'm showing you, you know, like where we actually came into things to end this this video, but you know where we came off with our run. We came off with our run. We won in like literally like won like 6 or 7 straight. And then when we run the 6 or 7 straight, we come through and we say, all right, play in. We win both games. We could have lost one, and then had to win one, and then we would have, you know, probably tried to get in, and we probably would have been 7 for whatever like that. But we end up winning both of them. You know what I'm saying? Like we beat Denver, we beat Golden State, and we move on. You know, so looking at those things now, I think that the run that we on right now, it could probably really propel us to going towards San Antonio from Minnesota with a real clear conscience, right? You know, a lot of our attributes are what they are at this point. Not really moving. I got to get more of my points. So looking at a lot of the things that I guess are in perspective for me, I'm looking at, we won into the play-in. We won the play-in. We won first round, and we beat the number 1 seed and upset them. Only one other team could say they beat the number 1 seed on the other side. And that might be Washington beating Miami. So my thing is, man, you know, or it might be no, I think Miami beat Indiana or something like that. But I can't remember right now. But at the same time, appreciate y'all for tuning in on this game, on this this series with these games and stuff like that. Tried to wrap this all up into one video for y'all. Show y'all some progress on where we was at. Next time we're gonna show y'all, or I'm gonna show y'all the outcome of the San Antonio series. Hopefully by now you liked the video. I hope that you got to the end of the video. Remember, follow me on Instagram, Boundless Convos, Boundless_Convos. That's BOUNDLESS_Convos, CONVOS. And then follow on YouTube. Hope you like the video. Boundless Conversations. You know, subscribe, notifications for the posts, all that other good shit. You know what I'm saying? Like we doing all that, man. So this should be coming out actually on the weekend. And this is gonna be my weekend video. And then the next one, I think we're gonna do the Shador one, because we wanted to do the Shador Sanders. Whole lot of shit happened, man. I told you them errors is crazy for the PS5 when you get them errors with the videos, corrupt file, whatever. It's crazy, bro. We figuring out, we making shit happen. You see I got a better camera now, so you see I'm on some shit now, but at the same time, we ain't really on some shit. We gotta get all our shit and ducks in a row. So we get in there, but what I say, man, we gotta thug it out. Make that shit happen however you can make it happen, man. Don't let anything that's holding you back today stop you from getting to where you gotta go tomorrow, man. Try to make a way and keep your head down and push through. That's all you gotta do. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm out.